Welcome to day 5 on a 1 week workshop on Amazon Web Services. So, as far as the last 4 days are concerned, we have been working with a couple of topics in the AWS. So, in today's session, we are going to talk about two different things that are available in AWS EC2 service, especially. So, here the one thing that we are going to focus is a concept called AMI. That's called as Amazon Machine Image. And along with that, we are also going to talk about a concept which is called as auto scaling. So these are the two things that we are going to discuss in this particular session. The concept of AMI, which is called as Amazon Machine Image, and the concept of auto scaling. So first, let us talk about the concept of AMI, and then I'll show you how to practically work on the AMI concept or AMI feature that is available in AWS, and then we'll jump to the auto scaling concept. Right. So the first thing is AMI, which is basically called as an Amazon Machine Image. Suppose if you remember in the last session, I was trying to launch one EC2 instance. We have created one EC2 instance, and then we have kept some data. We have launched one Amazon Apache web server inside that EC2 instance, and then we tried to access the data that is available in the EC2 instance. But here, what is this AMI is, whenever we are trying to launch an EC2 instance, we always have an option to select the AMI. So here, AMI is basically an operating system. So which type of operating system you want to use for your server? So we have different types of operating systems. The operating systems such as the Linux operating systems, Ubuntu operating system, Red Hat operating system. Likewise, AWS provides a vast number of operating systems. Now, people who are comfortable with the specific type of operating system, they are going to select the specific type of AMI. Okay, they're going to select the specific type of AMI. That's AMI, but why it is used? So is it used just for the purpose of operating system, or does it have any other features also? Yes, it does have other features. It does have very unique feature of AMI is something that we are going to see now. So suppose let's assume that you're working on a project. Okay, let's assume you are working on a project, and let us assume that on a particular day you are asked as one of the members in the team, you are asked to create one EC2 instance. Okay, you are asked to create one EC2 instance on day one. Let's say you have given that, or you were given that the specifications for the EC2 instance to be there. So let's say that your team leader has came to you and he told you that I need the EC2 instance with this specification. That is, I need the operating system as a Linux operating system. I need the EC2 instance type as T2.micro. I need the storage capacity as 8 GB, and I need the processor type as an ARM processor. So this is actually the processor type, ARM processor. So now on day one, he told you, I mean, your team lead has told you to create one instance with this specification. So what will you do? Obviously, you have to follow your boss. So you're going to create one EC2 instance. Okay, you're going to create one EC2 instance. Now you have created that EC2 instance, and some people are working on that EC2 instance. Now let's say after 10 days, again your boss came to you or your team lead has come to you and he told that you need to launch one more instance with the same specifications. Okay, he came to you and he told you that you need to launch one more EC2 instance with the same specifications as you have launched on the day one. You can see on day one, we have used some specifications or some configuration for our EC2 instance. On day 10 also, you are going to launch an EC2 instance, but with the same configuration, whatever you have used on day one itself. So the configuration of the EC2 instance has not got changed. So now what will you do? Since you have 9 days of gap, you will not feel anything awkward, and you will just feel like, okay, let me launch an EC2 instance. It's just 2 minutes of work. So you will launch one more instance with the same specifications. Now let's say on day 30, he's again come to you. Okay, he's again coming to you, and he told you that to launch one more instance with the same specifications as you have launched on day one and day 10. Now let's assume that this process is keep on repeating, or this the same thing is being told by your team lead every 2 days or every 3 days. Now what will you feel at one point of time? Why he is not telling everything to launch at the same time? If you need three instances within a span of 30 days, why he could not tell me on the day one itself to create 3 instances with the same configuration? Now, at that time, what will you do? So you can create all the 3 instances on a single day, and you can carry on with your own personal work. But this is something which is unpredictable. So requirement might get changed. Whenever the requirement is getting changed, according to the requirement, those many number of instances has to be created. Okay, those many number of instances has to be created. But here the problem is, let's say this work here I have given it as day 1, day 10, day 30. Now let us assume it that day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Likewise, every day it is happening. So every day morning, the team lead is coming to you. He's telling that to launch one instance with this specification. Now, at that point of time, you will feel vexed. You will feel irritated. So why he is not telling me to launch all the instances at the same time? So that's something which is time saving also. There comes the point of AMI. Okay, there we are going to use a concept called AMI. So what is AMI? So AMI is basically an Amazon machine image which is used to set up the configuration that is required. So I'll show you that. Suppose here you can see I'm just going to create one AMI, which is basically acts as a template in order to launch my EC2 instances. Okay, it is not an instance. AMI is not an instance. AMI is a template which is used to launch the instance. Now, what does I mean by template? Suppose, let's say you are applying for jobs. Okay, you are applying for a software engineer job or a DevOps engineer jobs or any jobs for that matter. Now, what will you do? The first thing what you have to do, we have to prepare our resume. Now, when you prepare your resume, are you going to prepare different resumes for the same job profile? No, the resume remains same. Okay, the resume remains same. So here, how you are going to prepare your resume? You are going to prepare your resume by downloading some sample templates from the Google sources. You just download some sample. Suppose let's say that you're all going to apply for the role of DevOps engineer. Now you don't know how to prepare the resume in order to apply for a DevOps engineer role. Now, what will you do? So when we don't do anything, we'll just look for the templates. What you'll just go to Google and you'll just type like DevOps engineer resume templates. Now you will find some templates, some number of templates, and out of those number of templates, you'll get the best one out, and then you will try to edit the existing template according to your requirement. Okay, you will try to edit the existing template which you have downloaded from Google sources, and you will edit the template according to your requirements or according to your eligibility or your education background or your work experience. So here, how AMI is acting, it is acting as a template. So template is nothing but in the template, we are going to configure all these settings. Okay, we are going to configure all these settings like the Linux operating system, T2.micro, 8 GB storage capacity, ARM processor, or whatever the remaining specifications that are there. You are going to configure all the specifications in this particular template, which is an AMI. So now you have the template ready. Now by using this template, can I launch multiple instances? Yes, we can launch. So that's the whole concept of working with AMI. So by using AMI, we can launch multiple instances. So every time you don't need to go to EC2 console and then you don't need to launch the EC2 instance by selecting all these configurations. Yes, obviously it takes at least 2 to 3 minutes of time to create all these instances. Okay, so individually when you are creating, it takes at least 2 to 3 minutes of time. Now you want to save those 2 to 3 minutes of time. Here I'm just telling that 4 or 5 instances, but in the real-time scenarios, you might need to work with hundreds of instances. In that case, how will you do? Are you going to launch all these hundreds of instances each and every time? No, it is not possible. You will waste. I mean, like the too much of time has to be spent on such scenario. So to avoid that kind of scenario, we have a concept called AMI. Now, by using this AMI, what we are going to do is in the AMI, we are going to set up the configuration. Okay, whatever the configuration that is required in order to launch the instances, we are going to set up the configuration. Now you have the configuration that is readily available, and then you will just go to the AMI, and by using this AMI, we can launch multiple instances. Now, what data will be there in these instances? whatever the configuration that you have given in the AMI, the same configuration will be available in all these instances. Okay, the same configuration will be available in all these instances. So that's the entire concept of AMI. So it basically acts as a template in order to launch our EC2 instances. Now the question is, how many instances can be launched by using one AMI? Okay, by using one AMI, how many instances can be launched? So here you can launch a maximum of 20 instances per region for one AMI. Okay, by using one AMI, we can launch 20 instances per region. Okay, per region. So that's something that we are going to see now. Okay, so here what we have to do is, in order to work with the AMI part, okay, in order to work with the AMI part, so the first thing is we should have one existing instance. Okay, we should have one existing instance. Now, by using that existing instance, I will show you how to create the AMI. Okay, I'll show you how to create that AMI. And then by using this AMI, I'll show you how to launch EC2 instances. So logically speaking, what I'm going to do here in this particular session with respect to AMI is, I'll show you first how to create one EC2 instance. So we all know how to create an EC2 instance. Let me write the tasks here. So AMI, Amazon Machine Image. I hope you are able to see the notepad screen, right? So here, the task that we are going to do is, first we are going to launch one EC2 instance. Okay, launch an EC2 instance. Right. After creating the EC2 instance, I'll show you how to create an AMI. Okay, create an AMI by using EC2 instance. This is what we are going to do. And after creating the instance, what I'll do is, I'll just keep some data inside this instance. Let's say I will install one software. Okay, I'll install one software. So let's install a software in the instance. Okay, install a software in the instance. So this could be the second step, not the third one. So let me give this as second step. So I'll launch one EC2 instance. After launching the EC2 instance, I'll connect it to the instance. And after connecting to the instance, I'll install one software in the same EC2 instance. After installing the software, what I'll do is, I will create an AMI by using the EC2 instance in which a software was installed. Now, what I'll do, by using this AMI, I'm going to launch one EC2 instance. Okay, one more time, I'll be launching one EC2 instance. I'll clearly explain that in a practical way. So that will be more beneficial for you. So here you can say that creation of AMI and launch EC2 instance from newly created AMI. From newly created AMI. This is our task on a large scale. This is what we are going to see. Right. So let us do that. So here, what I have done is, I have already launched one EC2 instance before the start of this session. You can see this is the instance that I have launched. Same like what we have done in the yesterday's session. Same like that, I have just launched one EC2 instance. So I'll just give the today's date for our EC2 instance. So I'll just keep it as 09. Right. So I have one EC2 instance that is readily available. Now what we are going to do, by using this instance, okay, by using this instance, I am going to install one software. Okay, I'm going to install one software inside this EC2 instance. So how will you install an software, or how will you insert data inside the instance? You need to connect to the instance first. How will you connect to the EC2 instance? You are going to use the public IP of your instance, and then we have a tool which is called as MobaXterm. Now just go to the MobaXterm tool, go to session, SSH. In the place of remote host, just paste the IP address of your instance. Remember, this is the public IP, not the private IP. And then advanced SSH settings, use private key, click on the file icon, and then select the key pair, whatever you have created. So this is the key pair that I have created now. Okay, so open it and then click OK. Now what will happen? You will be able to connect to the instance. Okay, you'll be able to connect to the instance. Now, what is the username for the EC2 instance? the username is EC2-user. Now, once you click enter, you should see the EC2 logo. Can you see the EC2 logo? Yes. So what does it mean? It means you have successfully connected to the instance, or you have successfully logged into the instance. Right. So now what we are going to do is I have created one instance and then I have connected to the instance. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create one software inside this. Okay, we are going to create one software inside this, or not create, we are going to install one software inside it. So there is a software which is called as Java software. Okay, we all know that Java software is available. So let me install the Java software inside this EC2 instance. Okay, let me install the Java software inside this EC2 instance. So let me do that. How to install? The command is sudo yum install java. Okay, this is the soft command to install the Java software. Let me click enter. Now you can see the Java software is getting installed. Okay, all the packages, whatever that are related to the Java software, everything will get installed. So let us wait till the entire software has got installed, and then I'll show you how to create the AMI by using the instance. Okay, so let it come so that, yeah, you can see the Java software has got installed successfully. Now, how to verify whether it got installed or not? We have a command which is called as java-version. Okay, there is this command called java-version. You can see which version of Java software has got installed. By default, the latest version of Java software has got installed. So a couple of days back, the Java 21 version was released. I hope you are aware of that. So here, by default, the Java 17 version has got installed in my EC2 instance. Okay, that's how you can check whether the Java software has got installed or not. You can see this command called java-version. So the command to install the Java software is sudo yum install java. That's the command. Let me install one more software also. So let's say we have a software which is called as Git software. Okay, there is a tool called Git tool. So let me install that Git software. Sudo yum install Git. Right. So just click enter and you will see the Git software is getting installed. Right. You can see the Git software has installed successfully. Now, how will you verify whether the Git is installed or not? The command is git-version. Right. Can you see the Git version which got installed? 2.40.1. This is the software version of Git that has currently installed. Right. So here what we have done, we have installed two softwares. The first one is Java software. If you want to verify whether Java software has installed successfully or not, you can just go with java-version. And then I have installed one more software, which is called as Git software, sudo yum install Git. And then if you want to verify which version of Git software has got installed, this is the command, git-version. Right. So this is what we have done so far. Now the next thing is I'll show you how to create an AMI by using the EC2 instance. Okay, how to create an AMI by using the EC2 instance. Let us do that. So in order to create the AMI by using the EC2 instance, I hope you're able to see the EC2 console or AWS console itself. Right. So here, from whichever instance you want to create the AMI, just select that instance. So this is the instance which I want to use in order to create the AMI. So just select that instance and then you can see actions here. Okay, there is an option called actions. And in the actions, you can see an option called images and templates. Okay, there is this option called images and templates. Now just click on images and templates, and here you can see an option called create image. So there is this option called create image. So what does it mean by create image? You are going to create an image, which is an AMI, by using this particular instance. Okay, you are going to create one image by using this particular instance. So go to actions, images and templates, and then click on create image. So with this, the image name we have to give. Suppose, let's say, I'll just give it as AWS workshop image. Okay, AWS workshop image. And description is not required. You can just leave it like that. And with the configuration, just leave the configuration as it is. And then if you scroll to the right side, you can see an option called create image. So just click on create image. So with this, what will happen? An AMI has got created. Okay, an AMI has got created. But how to know whether the AMI has got created or not? For that, you can access all your AMIs in the left pane. You can see there is a left pane, right? If you scroll down, there is this option called images. Under images, you can see an option called AMIs. So just click on AMIs and you will be able to see the AMI that we have created. Can you see this one? So this is the one that I have created just now, AWS workshop image. So now you can see the status of the instance, status of the AMI is currently in the pending state. So let it be in the available state, and then we can work with this one. Okay, and then we will work with this one. So let it be, I'll just refresh it so that the AMI will be in the available state. Right. So it takes some time to get into the available state, but let it come, no problem. Taking some time, so let me wait for a couple of seconds. Only after creating this AMI, we can work with this AMI. I mean, like only when you get the status as available, then only we can work with this AMI. Other than that, we cannot work with that. Let us wait till we get this AMI part. So currently what we have done is I have just created one EC2 instance. In that EC2 instance, I have installed the software, and then what I have done, I have created an AMI by using the EC2 instance. Now, what will be there in this AMI? Okay, what kind of data will be there in this AMI? Or my question for you is, can anybody guess what will be the data that is available in this AMI? Can anybody let me know? So what should be the data? What will be the data that should be available in this AMI? By using which instance we have created the AMI? By using this instance. Now, in this instance, what is the data that is available, or what is the softwares that are available? We have the Java software and we have the Git software. That means whatever the AMI that we have created, in this AMI, we also have the Java software and we will also have the Git software. Okay, that's what we have done here. So first I have created one EC2 instance, and in that EC2 instance, let me do that part clearly. So let me go to the paint. So here, what I have done is I have created one EC2 instance. Okay, I have created one EC2 instance. Now in this EC2 instance, what I have installed two softwares. Okay, let me give it as EC2 instance. And in this EC2 instance, I have installed two softwares. What are those two softwares? The first software is called as Java software. Okay, the first one is called as Java software, and the second one is called as Git software. Okay, I have installed two softwares in this EC2 instance. Okay, let me write the names here. So we have installed the Java software and we have installed the software called Git. So let me keep this ones here. Right. So here I have these two softwares that are available in my EC2 instance. Right. So now by using this EC2 instance, what I have done, I have created one image, which is called as Amazon machine image. Okay, by using this EC2 instance, I have created one image. Now, what will you expect to be there in this image? We need to expect that, or we should be expecting that whatever the data that is available in this instance, be it software or data, whatever that is there, whatever the data that is available in this instance, all that data should also be available in our AMI. Okay, all the data should also be available in our AMI. That means we should also have the Java software and we should have the Git software in AMI also. Why it should happen? Let me just increase the size of this one, AMI part. So I'll just keep it in this way. Right, let me keep it in this way. So here I have the, sorry. Yeah, so here I have created one AMI by using this EC2 instance. Now, this EC2 instance, I mean, in this AMI, what we will be expecting in this AMI, obviously, whatever the data that is available in the EC2 instance, all that data should also be available in the AMI. Why it should be available? Because by using this instance only, we have created this AMI. That means whatever that is available in this EC2 instance, the default data should also be available in this AMI as well. Now, what we are going to do is by using this AMI, okay, whatever the AMI that we have created now, by using this AMI, I'll be launching one more instance. Okay, I'll launch one more instance. Now, when I launch an EC2 instance by using this AMI, what should be there? Whatever the data that is available in the AMI, all that data should also be available in the newly created image. Okay, all the data should be available in the newly created image also. That is EC2 instance also. Let us cross verify this. Okay, right. So let me go to the AWS console. So let me reload it so that I can check the status of the AMI. So yes, you can see the status of the AMI is currently available. You can see the name of our image, AWS workshop image. Right. So now what we have to do, we have to create an image. Okay, we have to create an image by using EC2 instance, which we have already done now. Now, what we are going to do is the next step is create EC2 instance. Okay, create EC2 instance by using AMI. Okay, create EC2 instance by using AMI. So in the first case, what I have done, I have created an AMI by using EC2 instance. In the second case, what I am doing, I am creating an EC2 instance by using AMI. It's exactly reverse. In the first case, I have created an AMI by using the existing EC2 instance. Now what I am doing, I am going to create an EC2 instance by using the existing image. Okay, by using the existing image. Let us do that. How to launch an EC2 instance by using the image. So this is our image, AWS workshop image. So select the image and then you can see an option called launch instance from AMI. Okay, you can see an option called launch instance from AMI. So just click on launch instance from AMI. Now what will happen? By using the same AMI, an instance is going to be launched. Okay, let me give it as, I'll just give the name as AMI instance. Okay, I'll just give it as AMI instance, the name of the instance. And here you should not do any changes with the configuration. Why? Because in the AMI already we have the configuration. You can see. So what is the AMI that I have selected? I have selected AWS workshop image. By default, it will come. When you select the image and when you click on a launch instance, by default, whatever the configuration that is available in this image, all that configuration you can see here. Okay, this is the default configuration that is available in the AMI. So with this, I'm going to launch one EC2 instance. So select the key pair, whatever that you have created. So this is the key pair that I have created for this session. Okay, and then click on launch instance. Now, once you click on launch instance, what will be there? So we are going to create one EC2 instance. So why it is getting failed? You have requested more CPUs than the limit. So let me just check with that. So I have requested multiple instances. Let me just terminate a couple of instances that are available. Just a second, because I have more number of instances, so that's why it is showing it like error message. Because AWS will not allow you to create more and more number of instances per region. That's the problem. Let me check with that. Go to AMIs. and then select the AMI, whatever you have created, launch instance from AMI. And then I'll just give the name as AMI instance. AMI instance, and then key pair, I'm going to select the same key pair I have used, right? And with the default data, let me click on launch instance. If you see error, then it's about the AWS. AWS is not giving me permission to launch. Yeah. So it's because of the error message that we are seeing. I mean, this error message is because of, you can see, you have requested more capacity than your current VPCU limit of 1. So we cannot launch more than 1 instance in this particular region called North Virginia. So it is the problem of AWS itself. I mean, like, it's not about actually the problem of AWS. It's about we cannot launch more and more number of instances as we have exceeded the limit, because I have multiple instances in different regions for various batches. So that's why I'm unable to launch the EC2 instance here. But the concept is this. So the concept is very simple. So first, we have created one EC2 instance, and by using this EC2 instance, I have created an AMI. Okay, I have created an AMI. So those who are going to try, I mean, if anybody of you are having the AWS account, and if you want to try with this demo, I'll show you what you can do. So first launch one EC2 instance, and then install the software in the EC2 instance by connecting to the instance. Now, once you install the software, you just create one image from the EC2 instance. Okay, up to here it is fine. Okay, and then go to the images tab, or go to the images, and then create the EC2 instance by using the AMI, whatever you have created. I have shown you that step also. So how will you create an AMI EC2 instance from the AMI? Just select the image, whatever you have created, and then you can see an option called launch instance. Just click on launch instance, and you have to give the name to your instance and couple of key pairs and configuration you have to give. And once you do this one, then click on launch instance. Now what will happen? An instance will get created. Okay, an instance will get created. Now, what I was telling here, I was telling that whatever the instance that we are going to create by using this AMI, okay, whatever the instance that we are going to create by using this AMI, in that instance, we should have the Java software, and we should also have the Git software. That is what I was mentioning in the image, I mean the diagram here. So first I'm creating an EC2 instance. In that EC2 instance, I have launched 2 softwares, and by using this entire EC2 instance, I have created the AMI. Now, in this AMI, what will be there? In this AMI, the Java software will be there, and Git software is also there. Now, by using this AMI, in which the Java and Git softwares are available, I am creating an EC2 instance. Now, in this EC2 instance, what software should be available? Java and Git software should be available. Why these 2 software should be available? It is because in the AMI itself, we have this software. So that means whatever the details that are available, or whatever the configurations, data that is available in the AMI, by default, all that data should also come to the EC2 instance. Why it should come? Because in order to create this EC2 instance, I am taking the help of the AMI. Okay, I'm taking the help of the AMI. Now, whatever the data that is available in this AMI, all the data should be replicated in my EC2 instance also. But how will you check? So I'm telling that, yes, all the data, whatever is available in the AMI, that will come into the EC2 instance. But how will you check that? So here, what you have to do is connect to the newly created instance. Okay, I'll just write the steps. Somebody, I mean, those who are working with AWS, you can just give it a try. So connect to the newly created instance. Okay, connect to the newly created instance, and then using MobaXM software. Okay, you know how to connect to the EC2 instance using MobaXM. And then what you have to do is just execute this command, git or java-version. Okay, java-version. Now, when you execute this command, you should see the Java version. Okay, you should see the Java version. Why you should see? It is because we already have the Java software that is available in the AMI. That means the same software will also be available in the newly created instance also. you should not see any error message. Okay, you should see the version. You will see the version. And then we also have installed the Git software as well. So just execute git hyphen version. Now here, what it should show? You should see the Git version as well. Okay, you should see the Git version as well. That's how the data will be configured from one instance to another instance. Now, where this kind of scenarios will be useful? Suppose, let's say you are working on a project. Okay, let's say you are working on a project, and in that project, you have to install multiple softwares. Let's say we have a software called Jenkins software. Okay, we have this software called Jenkins. We have a software called Git software. We have a software called Maven software or Maven tool, you can say. And then we have this Java software, Python software is there. Now, like this, in the same EC2 instance, okay, when I'm working for a project, I'll just create one EC2 instance. Okay, I'll just create one EC2 instance. In this EC2 instance, I need to install all these softwares. Okay, I need to install all these softwares. Now, every time whenever you are creating the EC2 instance, will you be installing the softwares each and every time? If you install it like that, it will take so much amount of time. Now, if you have one or two instances, it's possible. I mean, you can just connect and you can spend some 5 minutes of time and then you can work with that. But let's say you have some 50 instances. Now, are you going to connect all those 50 instances and then are you going to install all these commands individually in all those 50 instances? No, it takes too much amount of time and it consumes your time also. It's not you, I mean, like it's not something that is advised. So in that scenario, what you can do is you can create an AMI. Okay, so when you want to install, let me give it here. Yeah. So when you have multiple instances, okay, when you have multiple instances, and in all those instances, okay, in all those instances, if you want to install multiple softwares, if you want to install multiple softwares, it becomes hectic work all the instances to connect it to all the instances and install all the softwares required. And install all the softwares required. So in this case, so to avoid this kind of scenario, we can create one instance, and in that instance, okay, and in that instance, install all the required softwares. Okay, install all the required softwares, and then create an AMI, that is create an image by using the instance in which you have installed, okay, in which you have installed all the softwares. And by using this AMI, okay, by using this AMI, we can launch the instances whenever it is required. Okay, whenever it is required. And hence, we can save the time by using this process. Okay, and hence, we can save the time by using this process. So that's the whole idea of working with the AMI. So actually, I thought of showing it, but I was unaware that because I had too many instances in my AWS account. So because of that, I'm unable to show you that. So even though I have terminated the couple of instances, it is still showing me that I have more than sufficient instances. So I cannot show you that one. So I'm just explaining that in a verbal format. But the process I have shown you. Okay, whatever the process that need to be done, I have shown you that process. Okay, so right. And now let us talk about one more option that is available in the EC2 feature, which is called as, suppose, let's say, whenever you are creating an EC2 instance, okay, you can see there is one instance that is available. Now, whenever you are completing your work with the EC2 instance, I told you we have two options. One is either we can stop the instance or we can terminate the instance. Now, what is the advantage of stopping the instance? Suppose if you want to use the same instance every day, then what you can do is you can stop the instance for today's session, and then tomorrow you can restart the same instance so that your data or your softwares, whatever that are available in this instance, will not be lost. But what will happen when you terminate? When you terminate, completely the instance will get shut down and you cannot use that instance for future purposes. Okay, there you will not be able to access the instance. Now, let's say that you are working on a project, and let's assume that for this EC2 instance, there are multiple people who are connected. Okay, by using the same EC2 instance, there are multiple people that are working on the same EC2 instance. Now, what will you feel? Let's say you are the beginner, or in the team, whichever you are working, a fresher has come. Okay, fresher has come joined to the company. Now, assume that fresher don't know the every ins and outs of AWS. Now, what he will do? Let's assume that we will tell to, as a senior person, you will tell to that fresher that you need to connect to this instance, and then you have to work on this instance. Now, he will connect to the instance and he will work on the instance. But after, I mean, by the end of the day, he'll feel like, okay, I have completed my work on this EC2 instance. Let me terminate this instance. Okay, let me terminate this instance. Now, what he will do, he is trying to terminate this instance. Now, when he terminates this instance, what will happen? Whatever the softwares or whatever the configuration, the data that is available in this instance, all the data will be lost. So it's an accidental deletion. I mean, though he is willingly deleting the instance, but he don't know. Okay, because we tomorrow also we have to use the same instance. He don't know that. So by chance he has deleted that instance. Now the question is, how can you protect your EC2 instance against the accidental termination? Okay, how can you protect the EC2 instance against the accidental termination? So we have that option in AWS also. So if any of you wants to terminate that instance, I should not be able to terminate that instance. So we can protect the instance against the termination. So how to do that? So just to select that instance, go to actions. In the actions, you can see an option called instance settings. So just click on instance settings and you can see an option called change termination protection. Okay, you can see an option called change termination protection. What is this? Let me click on this one, change termination protection. And here you have to enable the termination protection. Okay, you are protecting your instance against the termination process. So let me select this one, enable, and then let me click on save. Now what will happen? My instance, whatever this instance is available, this instance, I cannot be able to terminate. Even if I try to terminate also, it will show me an error message. You can see on the top, successfully enabled termination protection for the instance. And you can see at the end, this instance cannot be terminated. Okay, this instance cannot be terminated. Let us check whether we can terminate it or not. So how will you terminate the instance? Select that instance. Let me refresh it once. Yeah, select that instance, whichever you want to terminate. Go to instance state, click on terminate instance, and then click on terminate. Now, can you see? It is showing that failed to terminate the instance. That means you will not be able to terminate it. So it's completely locked. Only then when you change the termination behavior, again go to actions, instance settings, and then click on change termination protection, and then disable this one. Okay, just uncheck this one and then click on save. Now you can terminate it. Okay, now if you try to terminate it, it will get terminated for sure. There is no doubt in that. Right, that is against the termination protection. Now let's say you are working for a project and you have installed or you have deployed one application in this EC2 instance. Okay, one application, one client-based application you have installed in this EC2 instance, and that instance or that application is working well and good. Now you want the application to run for the next 7 days, 24/7. Okay, you want the application to run 24/7 for the next 7 days. Okay, for the next 7 days, it should run continuously 24 hours. It should run. Now, you don't want this instance to be stopped. Okay, you don't want this instance to be stopped for the next 7 days. Now, can you protect your instance against the stop behavior? Yes, we can protect the instance against the stop behavior. Now, if you see, just select that instance, go to instance state, just click on stop instance and then click on stop. Now what will happen? You can see successfully stopped the instance. And can you see the instance state? What is the instance state? It is getting stopped. Now what is happening here? I'm able to stop this instance. Now, when I stop the instance, what will happen? Whatever the application that I have deployed in this EC2 instance, that application will not be able to access. We cannot access that application. Why? That application running is dependent on this EC2 instance. If you're stopping this EC2 instance, automatically the application will also get stopped. Okay, it will not run in the background. So you should protect your EC2 instance against the stop behavior as well. Okay, against the stop behavior as well. Right. So for that, what you can do is go to actions. Okay, go to actions, instance settings, and you can see an option called change stop protection. So select that one, change stop protection, and enable it, and then click on save. Okay, click on save. Now what will happen? You can see enabled stop protection. Okay, enable stop protection. Now let me restart this instance, select the instance and then start it. Right, I have successfully started the instance. Now let the instance state be in the running state and then we will verify whether we can stop now or not. Earlier, I have not enabled that stop behavior. That's why I'm able to stop the instance. Now I have enabled the stop behavior. Now I should not be able to stop this instance. Okay, logically speaking, I should not be able to stop the instance. Let us check that. Let me reload it. Yeah. So you can see the instance is currently in the running state. So just to select the instance, go to instance state, just click on stop instance, and then click on stop. Now, can you see? Failed to stop the instance. Why it is failed? Because I have enabled the stop behavior. Okay, I have enabled the stop behavior. If you disable that stop behavior, how will you disable? Select the instance, actions, instance settings, and then change stop protection. Just disable this one, uncheck this one, and then click on save. Now what will happen? You will be able to stop the instance. Let us check that. So select that instance, instance state, stop instance, click on stop. Now can you see? The instance is getting stopped. So that's how you can protect your instances against the termination, against the stop behavior. So these are the couple of advanced options that are available in the EC2 service. Okay, these are the couple of advanced options. Now, here you might have a question here when we are going to use this kind of options, this kind of advanced features in the AWS, especially when you are working with a team. Okay, in a team, some people will be aware of this option, some people will not be aware of this option. Now, it is your duty as a team lead or as the superior member in the team, it is your duty to take care of all these features. Okay, you should not be, I mean, we should be very careful about whether the instance has to be stopped or whether the instance has to be terminated. Even though if the instance is terminated, you should not get affected with that. So to take care of all these features, we have these advanced options in the AWS EC2. These are just a few advanced options. Because of time constraint, I could limit myself to talk about very few advanced options. But there are n number of advanced features that are available in the AWS. Here, my intention is to show you a glimpse of the entire AWS. It's not about talking about each and every minute thing in the AWS. That's something which we'll discuss during the training programs or during the internship programs, because there we have, I mean, like too many number of days. We have almost 30 number of days for the internship trainings or for the regular trainings. So in that case, we have the time and we'll spend more than 1 hour for 1 hour for each day, so that we have many things to learn during that time. Right. So that's about this particular option called change termination behavior and change stop behavior. Now, let us talk about one last concept for this session, which is called as auto scaling. Okay, here I'll be talking about the concept. I'll not be executing this one practically, because if I want to execute this one practically, it needs at least 2 hours of time. So for that reason, I'll be letting you know the concept of auto scaling. So here the auto scaling is nothing but, suppose, let's say I have a website. I hope you are able to see the PPT screen. Let's say I have a website, and in order to run this website, okay, in order to run this website, I need one EC2 instance. Okay, I need one EC2 instance. Now let's assume that this website is being accessed by 100 users. Okay, this website is being accessed by 100 users. Now, you have to create the instances in such a way that all these 100 users should be successfully connected to the website. Now, let us understand the scenario here. The scenario is very simple. Now, let's say that, I mean, those who are the faculty, I mean, like in this, like in this workshop, there are faculties and students also. So they'll be more related to this scenario, what I'm going to. Yeah, sorry, somebody was speaking. Okay, fine. So here, let us understand the scenario. Suppose, let's say, whenever the exam results are happening, I mean, whenever the exam results are released, on the day of exam results were released, let's say for the first 1 to 2 hours or for the first 5 hours, you will not see that website, or you will not see the exam results portal. Students or the faculty. Why you will not see? Because more and more number of people will be accessing the same website at the same time, because each and every student is in a hurry to look after their results. Now, what will happen? Whoever the students that are available, all the students will be directing towards the same website. And now this website, now whenever you want to run a website, you need to have the instances in the background. You need to have the servers to run a website. Now, what will you do? This traffic, whatever that is coming down, let's say this website is there, and for this website, in the background, you have one instance, or you have couple of servers. Let's say for time being, one server is available. Okay, one server is available. Now, this server is able to tackle only 100 requests. Okay, it is able to tackle only 100 requests. So if 100 people access this particular website in 1 second, it will be responding. But let's assume that now you have given the maximum number of requests as 100. So when you are buying the servers, you told to the server vendor that I need the instance which should be able to tackle 100 users in 1 second. Yes, now what the vendor will do? Vendor will configure the server in such a way that even though 100 requests are coming, the website will run perfectly fine. There won't be any problem. But let's say on the day of exam results, okay, on the day of exam results, is it just 100 will be able to access that website? No. So let's assume that in the college, we have some 1,000 students are available. Okay, we have some 1,000 students are available. Now, all these 1,000 students, what they will do? They will direct to the same website at the same point of time. Now, let's assume that at 10 o'clock in the morning, all these students or all these 1,000 students, they will try to access the website. Now, what will happen? This website, whatever that is there, is able to tackle how many requests? It will be able to tackle only 100 requests. That means the remaining 900 requests, okay, for whatever the remaining 900 people that are there, all these 900 people will not be able to access the website. So it will keep on reloading. After some time, it will say that you have to retry, or this site can't be reached. Some options we'll see that. I mean, we all have experienced this scenario. I hope you can relate this one, whatever I'm telling. So now, what is happening? Whatever these 900 students are there, these 900 students will not be able to access the website. When they will not be able to access the website, till the time these 100 users are not going out of the website. Okay, till the time these 100 users are not going out of the website. Now, suppose, let's say, out of these 100 users, okay, out of these 100 users, let's say 10 people have seen their result, and then what is the remaining number? So the remaining number is 90. That means how many slots are free? 10 slots are free. Now, what the server will do actually, whoever the 900 people are trying or keep on trying, out of these 900 people, 10 people will be directed to the website again. Okay, 10 people will be directed to the website again. Why 10 people only? It is because the 10 people or 10 students has come out of the website, or they have come out of the website portal or the exam portal. So that means the 10 slots are free. Now, in these 10 slots, whoever is keep on trying, then they will see that website. So we must have experienced this scenario also. So suddenly we'll see the website and we'll be in a hurry to enter our hall ticket number or roll number, and then we'll try to access the result. This is something which happens in the real-time scenario. Now, here the condition is I am creating a website where I am giving to access only for 100 people. This is fine. Exam results, because most of the students will not access the exam portal. They will be able to access the exam portal only on the day of exams. Apart from that, nobody will access that exam portal. That's fine. But let's say there is an application. Okay, let's say there is an application. Let me talk about one application. I mean, those who are from Telugu states, they'll be well related with this one. Or, I mean, not just the Telugu states. Let me give it as one common thing. So recently, what Jio has done, Jio has taken, again, this is just for a classic example. This is nothing to degrade any kind of platforms. So please keep that in mind. Right. So here, what is the scenario is, recently the IPL has started. Okay, recently the IPL has started. I mean, it has completed also. Now, who was sponsoring the IPL? I mean, which was the streaming partner? The streaming partner was Jio. Okay, Jio app was the streaming partner. Now, if, I mean, like those who are well into the cricket and those who watched the IPL in the beginning days. Now, what happened in the beginning days? In the beginning days, the server was, I mean, like the Jio app was not showing the IPL. I mean, that was not displaying or it was not streaming the match. Why? It is because more and more number of applications or more and more number of users are trying to access this Jio app. Now, let's assume that this Jio app has brought the servers in such a way that they can tackle 1 crore requests per second. Okay, this Jio servers can tackle 1 crore requests per second. That means how many people will be able to watch the streaming of the match? Only 1 crore people will be able to watch the streaming of the match. The remaining people who is trying to access the match or who is trying to watch the match, they will not be able to see that. Why? Because all the servers are completely busy. Let's say they have bought some 5 servers, or let's say they have bought some 2 servers, and assume that these 2 servers are able to tag this 1 crore request. Now, let's assume that instead of 1 crore request, let's say we have 1.5 crore requests that are coming down. That means additional 50 lakh users are trying to watch the match. Now, will these 50 lakh students, additional 50 lakh students, will be able to access the Jio app? No. Why? Because all its servers are completely busy in tackling this 1 crore request. Now, if any of the members from these 1 crore requests will sign out or will come out of that application, then these 50 lakhs people who is trying to access the match, then they will be given the permission. Till then, they will not be given the permission. Now, here the scenario is Jio has brought, again, this is just for naming, nothing else to degrade here. So Jio has brought some 1 crore, I mean, some 2 servers which are able to track 1 crore requests. Now, assume that Jio has brought the physical servers. They have not brought the virtual servers. Just an understanding here. Jio has brought the physical servers. And let's say that they have spent, I mean, Jio has spent, let's say, 2 crores for servers. Okay, that means 1 crore for each server. So they have spent 1 crore for each server. So they have spent 2 crores on a whole to buy these 2 servers. Now, they are able to tackle, these 2 servers are able to tackle how many requests? Only 1 crore requests. Now, Jio is getting huge demand, that not just 1.5, let's say 2.5, 3 crore requests are also coming. Now, what Jio has to do now, in order to tackle this additional requests, Jio has to buy 1 additional server. Okay, Jio has to buy 1 additional server. So now let's say the third server was bought by Jio. Now this third server, I was telling that each server is able to tackle 50 lakh requests. So that means by using these 3 servers, it can tackle the 1.5 crore requests. Now, let's say for one match, let's say there is one exciting match that is going to happen. Let's say the final match that is going to happen. Now, for final match, what was happening? Let's say some 5 crore requests or 5 crore people are trying to access the Jio application. Now, will these 3 servers be sufficient? No, obviously they will not be sufficient. So now what they have to do? They have to immediately buy the additional servers that are required in order to tackle this 5 crore requests. Okay, in order to tackle this 5 crore requests, they have to immediately buy the servers and then they have to give the application or give the streaming to all its users. Right. Now, let's say how many servers they have bought additionally? 3 servers they have bought. Okay, in order to tackle this 5 crore requests, they have created or they have bought these 3 additional servers. Okay, they have got these 3 additional servers. Now, as far as the match is concerned, all these 5 servers are completely busy, and none of the users are facing any downtime for the application. They are completely accessing the video, or they are completely watching the streaming. Now, assume that the match is over, the IPL season has got ended. Okay, the IPL season has got ended. Now, do you think that all these 5 crore people will be accessing the website or the Geo application every day? No, because most of the people who was trying to access the Geo application, they are all cricket fans. So they are watching the application, they are using that application during the season of the cricket or during the IPL season. Now, once IPL gets completed, we don't think that all these 5 crore people will be able to access the or will be access the same application. They'll not, for sure, they'll not be able to access. They'll not access also. Why? Because whatever the IPL season that was there, that IPL season has got ended. So obviously, out of these 5 crore, at least maybe 1 crore or 1.5 crore people will access the application. But how about the remaining 4 crore people or 3.5 crore people? They are not accessing the application. Now, when they are not accessing the application, these 3 servers, whatever you have bought additionally, will these servers be useful for us, or will these servers be useful for the Geo application? No. That means you don't have any usage with these additional servers. Now, here the question is, will you send back or will you sell back these servers to the server vendor? No, nobody will take. Why? Because they are already used. Used servers will never be taken by the vendors. Now, what is the problem here? Whatever the investment that was done on these 3 additional servers, all that investment is waste. I mean, it is, logically speaking, it's a waste one only, because these 2 servers itself are sufficient to tackle the regular requests. Okay, Jio has brought these 3 additional servers in order to tackle the 5 crore requests when during the IPL season. Now the IPL season has got completed. People are assume that people are not accessing the Jio application, and then there is no use of working with these 3 servers. Now you cannot sell the servers and you cannot keep the servers. Even if you maintain the servers, you'll have the maintenance cost, you'll have the security cost. Everything is an additional cost here. But these servers are not being used. When the servers are not being used, and if the servers are kept just like an ideal condition, then all the investment, whatever you are doing on the servers, will go waste. Now, this is the problem with the physical servers. Okay, this is the problem with physical servers. Then the cloud, especially the AWS, has brought a concept which is called as auto scaling. Okay, AWS has brought a concept which is called as auto scaling to tackle all these requests, to tackle these problems. Now, what is the solution? The solution is called as auto scaling. Now, how auto scaling will work? Let us understand that. So auto scaling is nothing but we are going to create the instances automatically based on the number of users that are accessing the website. Okay, based upon the usage, we can create automatically, the instances can be created by using the auto scaling feature. Let me just tell you the concept. I'll not go into the practical one because, as I said, it takes at least 2 hours of time for that. Right. Let's assume that a website is there and initially it was only 100 users are there. Let's say in the first month of website, only 100 users are accessing the website. Now, to tackle these 100 users, you have bought one server. Okay, you have bought one server. Now, these 100 users are successfully accessing the website. Now, let's say in the second month, okay, in the second month, for the same website, the number of users has got increased. Let's say 200 users has got increased. Now, what you have to do? You know that one server is able to tackle only 100 users. Now, how many users are coming? 200 users. That means you need 2 servers or 2 instances. That is fine. Now, in the third month, for the same website, the number of users has got increased. Now, what you have to do? You have to buy one more additional server. Yes, you have bought the additional server. So this is the scenario up to third month. Now, in the fourth month, what happened was, for the same website, the number of users has got decreased. Okay, for the same website, in the fourth month, the number of users has got decreased. Now, what you have to do? You have to reduce the servers. You need only 2 servers. You don't need these 3 servers. Why? Because the requests are not coming at a good rate. So you have to reduce the number of servers. But can you reduce the number of servers? Actually speaking, especially with the physical environment, we cannot do that. Now, assume that we need only 2 instances in the 4th month. Now also assume that somehow you are successful in selling the 3rd server, which you felt it is not useful. You sold that server for something like 70% of the original price. You have sold the server to some vendor or some startup companies or someone who is in requirement of that, right? So you have sold that 3rd server because you felt like I don't need this additional server. Now in the 5th month, for the same website, the traffic has again got increased. Now what you have to do? Again, you have to buy the additional servers. Let's say 4 or 5 servers you have to buy. Now, will you be able to buy that? Yes, you can buy that. But what is the problem? The problem is you can buy that, but the scenario is you have to spend too much amount of money based on the usage. Now you cannot predict when the number of users will get increased, when the number of users will get decreased. So since you cannot predict, you cannot simply go and buy the servers, especially the physical servers. So to take care of this problem, AWS has brought a this auto scaling. By using this auto scaling, automatically AWS provides a feature where it will automatically adjust the number of instances. Okay, you don't need to do anything here. You just have to configure that. And once you configure that in the auto scaling groups, there is a concept called auto scaling groups. In that auto scaling groups, automatically based upon the number of users, the instances will get created, and based upon the number of users, the instances will get reduced. That's called as auto scaling. Okay, that's called as auto scaling. So by using the auto scaling concept, automatically AWS cloud itself will define how many number of instances are required based upon the usage. Now, what will you do? You just have to configure this auto scaling, and then everything will be taken care by the AWS itself. You don't have to do anything. You just have to work on the application part. That's it. If you want to do any kind of modifications in the application, if you want to do if you want to add any kind of additional data in the application or website, that's your duty. I mean, that is our duty. The remaining thing, that is maintenance of servers, server capacity, all these things will be taken care by the AWS cloud itself, or AWS cloud service provider itself. Not just the AWS, any other AWS, I mean, any other cloud service providers. So that is the whole concept of auto scaling. Okay, that's the concept of auto scaling, right? So I hope the concept is clear for you. Right. So that's from my end for this particular session. If you have any doubts, you can unmute and ask the doubts.